Welcome into another episode of Valley Vibes. I'm Lindsay Smith in the Four Peaks Mini Bar, and today I am joined by Aaron Edwards. Stand-up comedian, former writer of NBA All Caps, and host of The Uncle Show. Aaron, thank you so much for stopping by. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Ready to talk some Suns and be sad a little bit.
I was like, are you ready? Because I don't know if any of us are really ready. We'll start with a brief vibe check. It's been 5 days or so since the Suns got bounced in epic fashion. How are your mentals doing right now?
Honestly, I'm good. I've been able to enjoy basketball without having feelings attached to it. I've been loving all these games and not having to deal with the heartbreak of watching my team. I had no fun watching the Suns play. So just being able to enjoy a sport that I love has been really cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as much as it was completely defeating in the way in which we went out, it was almost kind of a sense of relief too. And I hate admitting that, but it kind of was. It was like, all right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. We can move on. Because there was no hope for a long, deep playoff run, right? There really wasn't. Let's be honest.
No. Yeah, it was the second all the zeros hit, I was like, oh my God, it's over. I finally don't have to deal with them anymore. And yeah, I've just been enjoying the games now. It's been so nice.
But now we have all the burning questions around the offseason. So I've got a couple burning questions for you here. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
The first one, do the Suns need a point guard?
I mean, yes. I mean, to come off the bench or something at least, like they keep saying over and over, you don't want to take the ball out of KD and Book and Beal's hands. And yes, that's fine and all. But I think if things are getting tough and we're having one of those rough stretches that we have sometimes, I think just having a point guard would be nice. I'm not anti it, but I don't think we need one either.
Yeah. Okay. We had a conversation about it earlier this week, and we brought up a couple names that could be potential point guards the Suns could bring in this offseason as far as the vet minimum goes and the situation around all the cap and second apron rules they're going to have to deal with. Chris Paul, Cam Payne, how are you feeling about these two guys and a return back to Phoenix? Would you be on board with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with either one of those. Chris Paul would just bring some personality and kind of the grown up in the room, since nobody really wants to take the reins on that. So I think just having Chris Paul around again, he still has the problems that he has too. So Chris Paul and Cam Payne would be fine. I mean, for vibe wise, I think Cam Payne would be better, but we do need a grown up in the room because none of those guys kind of want to do it.
Right. It's almost like we could use both of them, one for the good vibes and the other for help, I need an adult situation we've got going on. All right. Next one. Do the Suns need a new head coach?
I mean, honestly, I don't think so. I think it's more the players than the coach, honestly. If Vogel wants them to shoot threes and they're just not doing it, I think that's more of the problem. And can any coach talk them into doing that? I don't know. I think just schematically, and he had the players that he had. But yeah, I just really think that if somebody can just hypnotize these dudes and make them shoot threes, they'll be fine. If Vogel can't do it, I don't really know who else would be able to do it.
So we don't need a new head coach. We need a hypnotherapist is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I like it. I like where your head's at. Okay, so since we are we're going to stand pat with Frank Vogel, the next question would be, do the Suns need to break up the big three of Book, Beal, and KD?
No, I think it goes back to what I just said last time. They have habits that they've been doing for years that have worked, but the league is kind of pushing them into the future, and they're slowly realizing that you got to shoot more threes. I think they said the team that shot the most threes are the ones left right now. And the Suns were 8-2 whenever they shot 43s, and they just refused to do it. So I think if you can make these dudes kind of change their ways a little bit and buy into the future of the NBA, we'll be fine. They just have to want to do it.
Okay, the question now is, do you think that you can convince them to buy into that?
Book, I mean, Beal toward the end, he was jacking him up and he was kind of buying into it. And so I think, like, if Beal can do it, who's a really good 3 point shooter, it was just kind of up and down. KD is the one that's the tough one. Like, sometimes he'll do it and he'll go games without even shooting one till like the fourth quarter or something. Like, I think that's the tough one. Even Book, when like it comes down to like the line and he really buys into it, he'll jack him up every once in a while too. But the KD one is the tough one. Like, it's kind of hard. He's stubborn, and it's kind of hard to get him to stop doing it.
Fair. Okay. We've got the draft here in just over a month coming up. James Jones, Matt Ishbia at their press conference earlier in the week were like, we don't really care about our 2031 draft pick, whoever's 7 years old right now. Do the Suns need a new general manager or front office as far as like how they're putting together this team, how they're evaluating the now versus the future? What are your thoughts around that?
I'm sort of wanting a new GM a little bit lately. I think James Jones hates scouting, and he's been open about hating scouting, and he doesn't care about the draft. Like, he's very open about that stuff. And yes, we're very top heavy, and he kind of really doesn't need to care about it with no picks coming up. But yeah, I just think having a dude that cares about the draft and these teenagers that he definitely doesn't care about, I think just having someone that wants to do it and cares about scouting and cares about the draft in general, I think that would just be a nice change. We've seen how it works without it. Let's see how it works with someone that actually cares about it.
At the very least, can we have like two like co-general managers, right? Like James can handle the player part of it in the now, and maybe we have a more scout-based GM who is worried about the future, who can take that load off of his plate, right? Like he gets to do the things he wants, the fun parts, and then this person over here can handle the not fun parts as far as James is concerned.
Yeah, I'm shocked he hasn't just hired a nerd to do that for him yet. He doesn't want to do it. Like, there are tons of nerds that love to do it. Like, he can just pick one out and just call him a co-GM, whatever he wants to call himself, and just have someone that scouts for you.
Right? Like, we can have the best of both worlds here. Like, we got Matt Ishbia, deep pockets now. Bring them all in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, last burning question for you, okay? You don't have to expand on this one if you don't want to, but yes or no, LeBron James to Phoenix?
Sure. I'm all about being delusional. I love being delusional, actually. Let's go for it. Let's ride this train. Let's be delusional together. LeBron to Phoenix. He's going to take the least amount of money he's ever taken in his life, and he's going to come to Arizona.
Let's do it. Summer 2024 is all about the Delulu. I'm on board. Aaron, thank you so much. I really appreciate you stopping by to talk a little bit of Suns basketball and answer some burning questions. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Of course. And everyone be sure to give him a follow on Twitter at AYRONED. I never know how to say it.
It's Aaron Ed. It's just my name, but I spelled it weird because I'm a dummy.
Well, there you go. Well, I spelled it out for you guys, so you have no excuse not to be able to find him on social. All right, Aaron, we'll catch up with you later. Thank you.
Later.